Up in the sky on a clear day, chances are you see those long flowing trails left behind by high-flying jets overhead.
I-7 First Alert weather team often hears from people who wonder if those colors have a sinister side.
Meteorologist Chris Edwards went digging for answers on the contrails that some people call chemtrails.
I've always thought contrails were fascinating, but I want you to know if they also are frightening. Like an etch-a-sketch in the sky, aircraft have been leaving their mark at high altitudes for more than 60 years now. Their condensation trails, or contrails, are long, skinny clouds that form from the moisture coming from a plane's exhaust. But to some people, the sky doesn't look right. Like Dane Wigington, a solar energy user from Northern California.
We have video footage of KC-10s and KC-135 spraying at altitude. There's no denying the spraying on this video. I mean, they can be seen turning on and off. Nozzles are visible.
What they allegedly spray is labeled by some as chemtrails. What chemicals are being sprayed?
Aluminum, barium, strontium.
And who's doing this?
It appears the NATO countries are all involved with this to deflect some of the sun's incoming solar radiation in the attempt to try to slow climate change.
Some suggested military planes were responsible. It migrated to the internet where questionable science and speculation can grow like immortal cancers. Many viewers have seen it and asked me about it. So I asked an expert, what is in airplane exhaust?
Black carbon, soot, and the sulfate particles.
In other words, run-of-the-mill air pollution. You may notice so many more contrails because there's twice as much air traffic compared to 20 years ago. Whether or not contrails linger and spread out or disappear quickly depends on moisture 6 to 8 miles up, temperature, and even wind at those levels. Sometimes they linger, sometimes they don't. But if there was a conspiracy to use jet-produced clouds to cool the atmosphere, would it work? No.
The contrails that are spreading that you can identify as contrails, those would tend to warm the atmosphere. Everything that we know about would say that.
I served 4 years in the Air Force, had a top-secret clearance, and gave weather information to pilots in aircraft the public didn't even know existed. So I knew who to ask to go up the command chain to ask questions they can answer. Quoting Lieutenant Colonel Alan Heritage, Air Force Pentagon, "The Air Force is not conducting any weather modification experiments or programs at this time and has no plans to do so in the future." The military has done small-scale weather modification in the distant past, and there's increasing discussion in the climate science world about engineering ideas to be considered if climate change spins out of control in the future. Bottom line about those chemicals, there are standards for what can be in our drinking water, but we discovered there are none for rainwater, so it's almost never tested. We wanted to get to the bottom of this, so we hired Brighton Analytical Labs, a Michigan and nationally accredited lab with over 25 years' experience. They collected rain as it fell, then tested it to look for any traces of the offending elements. Here's what they found in our rainwater. Aluminum, none detected. Barium, none detected. Strontium, none detected. If these elements were being sprayed above us, they'd have shown up in our rainwater. Contrails are expected to become more numerous and cover more of the sky as air traffic increases in the future.